what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and in this episode we are going to find out what is wrong with our 350Z. In the last episode we wanted to go pick up a Christmas tree with the 350Z, take a couple of rollers, have a great time, but unfortunately the 350Z had other plans. It started to run rough and it started to sound like a boxer motor. Anyways, the 350Z is not running correctly. So in the last episode, I thought it was an evap sensor, and that is by the canister in the rear of the car. So I had swapped that out, and unfortunately, that was not our issue. After that, I plugged in a scanner, I started playing with the injectors, and each one you can play with. So as the car is running, you can turn off each injector and see if there's any change to how the motor runs. Before we start swapping parts and getting really into it, I'm gonna first go into the fuel tank and see if I can find any sediment, anything that is getting caught, anything that's getting through the filter that might be clogging our injectors. So what we're gonna do is we're going to open up the fuel tank, see if there's any sediment. If there's no sediment, we're then gonna jump into the engine bay and swap out our injector, and hopefully this solves our issue. So let me show you guys how it runs currently. It's very weird. I started this car in the morning and it ran completely fine. Turned it off, went to the other side of the shop, came back, turned it back on, and then it started to run rough again. So let's see if it does it again. Alright guys, so as you can hear, it does not sound all that great. It definitely sounds like that. It definitely sounds like an injector is not firing when it's supposed to, or it's not functioning at all. It's supposed to sound a little bit smoother than this. I'll insert a clip of how a 350Z should sound like.
Oh, say less.
And then now you have something to compare it to, which is this. Alright everyone, so now that you heard what the car currently sounds like, we're going to jump into the fuel tank, open it up, see what it looks like. The 350Z fuel tank is located right here. And it's right underneath this tray. So all I got to do is pull this out, pull the tray out, and then the fuel pump will be accessible. Alright, so with your handy dandy flathead, just pry this part up. So fold that back, like that. Alright, so with your flathead, I'm just gonna, I don't know, turn these, I guess? Turn right, don't turn left, turn right. Oh, there's indicators. Don't be like me. Okay, there you go. Turn that. This, and this piece should lift up. Oh, that's where the mice are. That's disgusting. Oh yeah, okay. Let me show you guys.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
That is nasty. I'm gonna have to vacuum all of that before I pull it out. Don't want any of that junk to fall into the tank. Alright, let's clean it out. The fuel tank is clean. Good news is that this does appear to be a plastic tank. Not 100% sure. I mean, hold on, that sounds like it's metal or steel or stainless, whatever it is, whatever material it's made out of. Not 100% sure if that's plastic or not, but If it is, great. If not, then we might be dealing with some rust in the tank. So we'll see. We'll see. So let's get this fuel pump out. All right. So I believe these are 8mm bolts that are holding it in. Maybe, oh, these are really small. This is an 8mm. Let's see what's inside our tank. Okay, I got it. This pulls right off, just like that. Okay. And now what am I caught up on? Okay, almost there. Almost there. And just like that, that's how you take the fuel pump out. All right, let's take a look and see what's inside. All right, everyone, let's see what we have. We got a light. So, this fuel tank looks pretty clean. Doesn't really seem all that dirty. So, maybe we just have a bad injector, which is completely okay. I'm okay with a bad injector. We confirmed that it is not the fuel tank that is dirty. And I'm very happy of how that looks right now. I'm gonna show you guys the filter on the fuel pump, and that looks pretty clean as well too. You can see right there. The stock looks very clean. It doesn't look like there is any sediment in there. You can kind of get an idea of how it looks from the bottom as well. It looks very, very clean. So now that we confirmed that it is not the fuel pump or anything related to the fuel pump, the fuel filter, the gas tank being rotted out, or any sediment being in there, we're gonna jump into the engine bay, take our plenum off, and get a closer look at our fuel injection system. By the time we do that, our fuel injector should be delivered by then, and we can swap out that part. And hopefully, fingers crossed, that solves our issue. So I'm not gonna bore you guys with this. I'm gonna put it back together by myself, and then we'll do the engine bay together. All right, guys, so we're in the engine bay now. What we gotta do is we gotta take this strut brace off, and then that will give us access to take off the plenum. Before we take the plenum off, we have to take off all of the bolts that hold it in place. We have to take the intake off, and there's some other miscellaneous accessories that are attached to this that we have to take off as well. So let's get this strut brace off and let's dig into it. All right, so we have the plenum off now. Well, we have the top part off. I just wanted to inspect this real quick. So far, so good. The runners look amazing, and this is what I would have expected out of a motor that has barely any miles on it. But runners are looking great. So this is a really good sign that this motor was not beaten on, I would say. So I'm gonna put you guys back down and we're gonna get this plenum completely off to get access to those injectors. And it's just 6 of these bolts. Come right out. Alright guys, now that we've got the plenum off, what we can see is there's definitely been some mice in here. As you can see, there's some acorns and some leaves that are in this little valley here. But what this gives us a chance to do is, well, obviously change the injector for cylinder number 5, but we can also inspect our valves. So here are the valves, and as you can see, they look really, really clean. I'm just gonna get in there for you guys. Look at that, no carbon buildup. So I'd say we're in really good shape with this motor. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna vacuum up all these acorns and whatnot and swap injector number 5. This back. Oh, don't want that. All right, people. Little trick that I learned from Alex at Legit Street Cars: use a funnel as a an attachment for your vacuum cleaner. You put the thing in like that, and that way you can reach in those tight areas with this small nozzle. Alright guys, so I just cleaned up the valley, went in there with some cleaner, vacuumed it up, and now we're going to replace this faulty injector. You can clean these injectors so you don't have to buy new ones, but I don't have the injector tester or cleaner at this moment to be able to do it, so that's why I just bought a new injector. Here is our new injector, and it does seem like the ones that originally came off were the original injectors, following this part number FBJ100, FBJC100. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some white lithium grease on these O-rings so they don't crack when I put them back in, and put the plenum back on and get this thing started. Our fuel rail. Don't forget these washers. They go right where the fuel rail mounting points are. So there are 4 of them. Don't forget to put these back where they were, because if you don't, then you'll crush down the O-rings to the injectors, and you're not going to get a perfect seal. Okay, our injectors are now back in, so, and we're good. Good. All right. So now that we have our fuel rail back in, what I want to do is I want to clean up the plenum just a little bit. So I'm going to get some brake clean, and I'm going to get a rag, clean this up a little bit, put it back together, and put it back in our car. So this is what it looks like before, and this is what it looks like after. Now, theoretically, this should fire up with no issues. Let's hope. Fingers crossed. All right, everyone, let's go take our 350Z for a quick spin to make sure that everything is okay. And right off the rip, the throttle response is night and day difference compared to last time. Oh yeah, running much smoother now. Much better. That fuel injector definitely did the trick. Yeah, now we have full power and it feels really, really good now. So on that note, before anything else breaks on this car, if you like videos like this, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on your post notifications to get notified whenever I put out a new video. So, again, guys, this was a huge success in